Hello and welcome back to Cultist Simulator with me, Barden. Okay, so we're going to start by, first of all, dealing with these here. So what I want to do is, I want to find all of the places these go to, which are probably going to be, I think it's the ship, right? Or no, not the ship, the abandoned warehouse, I think it is. But the reason I'm doing that is because let me actually, before we do anything else, let me lay out the roadmap for what we're going to do to get our priest ending. So I had a bit of look into some things that I need to do. So one of those, or two of those things actually, is that I've got to convert some of my passion to health and also some of my reason to health. And in order to do those, I need to perform two different rituals or rites to summon spirits. So the first spirit that we have to summon is Raw Prophet, and that will be the Thresher of Thoughts. That will change reason to a decrepitude, and then we can use Forge's Redemption to change that decrepitude back to health. We can then do the same thing with by summoning the Maid in the Mirror and using them to convert passion to decrepitude, and then using Forge's Redemption to change that into health. So eventually we're going to want to convert probably, I would say, 2 reason and maybe 2 reason and 3 passion, I think. Wait, we need 10 health overall, I think, to be able to get this ending. So yeah, probably 2 reason and 5 passion, or no, 2 reason and 3 passion to make 5 extra health, I think is the way we're going to do it. But in order to do that, we're going to need low level knock, moth and edge lore. And then we're going to need Grail and Winter lore as well, that we already have. That's actually the perfect one there, 6, right? Yeah. So what I'm doing then is getting lower level stuff to get lower level books that will give lower levels of lore. We could split some lore down as well, like split this into 2, and because we just actually combined those, you probably shouldn't have. Now that we know what we need to do. So we could split those down if we wanted to, but I think doing it this way is probably going to end up better in the long run. But that's kind of one of the steps that we need to do. So we need to prepare for that step by going to lower level expeditions. So we're going to do that. Then we are also going to need to get some a very high level knock artifact that we can use. We don't have one at the moment, but it's basically at so this for these we need to get it to 14. So we need to get the one that was here that we went to last time, and we need to just keep looking through those until we find the item that we need, and that's going to help us in the end to get our victory. And I'd rather have that before we start going through the next step, which is after we have our health, we then have to start converting a lot of that health then to some form of injuries. And there are a number of different injuries that you can get that we need to do for that. And then also each one has a requirement for high level lore of each of the lores. So again, we can't just break stuff down and use it all on summoning, because we're going to have to get high level lore as well. I think it's 10th level lore, so it's either 10th or 12th. So if it's 10th, we've got most. We need to do winter. Grail will probably, this one should be okay for Grail anyway, so that should be alright too. There's just really winter for that, for higher level lore, but we don't know, like, I don't know whether it's a thing where it's 100% success or not, for each one, so I don't want to be leaving lore or getting rid of lore when it shouldn't. So we're going to continue on here. We got a health there, which is great. So yeah, the thing for today is to get as many of these low level places as we can, and then to find the lore there as well and read it. We'll also read. We'll also be working on translating and reading these books too. And we also got you there, the Orchid of Transfiguration. Okay, the third volume of a compilation of quasi Rosicrucian allegories, supposedly by Robert Flood. This is a later English translation. Okay. So that can go, that should really be up there, but I guess leave it for there to now. Review as well. Those indignities perpetrated by the deceitful fraternity of Oblivion. Okay, so we'll put you there. So those two we can at least read at some point. I think they might have been Latin ones that we translated. So we'll put them there for now anyway. Now that they're translated, which is good. Okay, so let's start that off. Right, so then work is done. Let's keep that going. Now, one thing that we're going to have to do as well is, for one of the things that we need to do, we need to get a hunger, and we're going to get a hunger when this one here doesn't have any funds available. So what we can do from that is, if we take the stack of funds like this, it actually prevents it from, it can't take out of that stack. That's what we'll do when we get there. So it's a little bit like, it's not the way the game should be, but at this point when we got 398 funds, we're not going to be able to burn through all those funds to create that hunger in a timely manner. Plus, also, we don't really want to burn through all of our funds when we need them for other things anyway. This place, okay, the Forsaken Reach, yeah. So we're going to get a lot of the Forsaken Reach. And keep on going. That. As yet, I have only the needs and desires of any other mortal. What stirs in you? See, pop there. Okay, and we can do that. And we should get back into the Mansus as well. Here we go. Okay, let's translate. This one's down here. Yeah, so we kind of have now a bit of a roadmap of where we're going with this. So, said we get the lore that we need. We're going to need for. Yeah, that's what's happening there. Is they're being punted over by you. Right, let's take this one. Got a glimmering. Okay. I recall my dream. Just the lodge of the blue silk. flapping in the winds of the bounds at the Mansus's edge, and here was his mistress, who welcomed me as she welcomes all travellers. Company is nice, she confided, but I still miss my Christopher. 10 years. 10 years are not enough. We could not have been long together, not without touching each other. I know what occurs when a man long lies with a long woman. Perhaps you don't. I hope you don't. I won't tell you, just in case. I will give you a tiny gift. Okay, so we get the glimmering. I'm not going to use it for anything, but still appreciate that we got it. Okay, and go back to that one. Run it on. Just keep on visiting here. Yeah, so I said we have a roadmap for where we want to go. So getting the lore to use into rites, doing the summoning rites, converting the reason and passion to health in preparation of what we're going to do later. And then after that, or while we're doing that, trying to get some higher level of this lore here, the forgotten lore, and getting that item that we're going to need in the end, because there are basically two ways, really. Well, might be more than two, but the two ways that we can get our ending, and one is through having temporary lore from the Mansus, which would require us to get to the Stag Door, which would require us having done something earlier, like changing the aspect of our cult, that we didn't do, to basically generate ourselves an actual temptation that would allow us then to advance through the Mansus and get access to the Stag Door, and then be able to have that temporary stuff there. We won't be able to do that, so instead we're looking for higher level items from expeditions that we can then use in its stead. Right, so we're going to move on. But yeah, that's something that we want to get as well, as soon as it's practical. We have 6 of those. That would make us, we could at least get from those 3 of these. We're going to need more than that, I think. This illness has damaged my health. I need to rest before I'm fully recovered. Okay, so we'll have to keep you aside for that. Okay, verb from authority. Last night I dreamt of a blue silk pavilion overlooking the cloudy labyrinth of the bounds. I listened to the mistress of the place speak of other visitors. The Suppression Bureau come here. Did you know that? I think they hope to recruit me as an ally. She snorts derisively. After what they did to Christopher, or what they tried to do to Christopher, but their folly is your fortune. I will tell you something that may help you if the Bureau ever troubles you. Okay, so that's always a nice thing to have. Even when you don't need it, it's just comforting. Oh, we shouldn't have done that because we should have worked on you, but it's too late now. At least we'll be able to get it to it before it's completely too late. So let's put it there, so we're aware of it. Oops. We'll then go there, I guess. So we got that. Grab ourselves another one. That one's translated and ready, so we can now actually start studying the books. Okay, so read those indignities perpetrated by the deceitful fraternity of Obliviates. 58. That they did claim inheritance of the traditions of the House of Leth, but that they have disregarded both its most sacred and its most beautiful ceremonies, where they are not found. Convenient. 59. I'd like to read all the rest of those. It'd be a fun thing to read. Somebody probably that loves this game probably wrote the rest of them. You should go there as well. have to say for the next character, I'm going to experiment with the layout again, because this layout, I don't really like it. Some of my previous layers I've liked better. Just kind of feels like it's a bit more of a jumble than I've done in the past. So I'd rather maybe do it slightly different next time. Maybe have, like, Laura could probably fit down here in this area. Then have her people over here and locations underneath, maybe something like that. And then these items then could maybe sit in this area. Then we'd have to see where the books go. But yeah, not completely enamored by the layout this time. Okay, so we get some erudition. In last night's dream, I was in the lodge of the Sage Knight, behind a white door. It is difficult to remember exactly how I came there, and the mistress of the place, the woman with the dark glasses, was nodding as if I had asked her a difficult question. Of course I hadn't. I lost my speech when I passed the white door. How's it that I can speak? She said to me. I didn't come here through the white door. I'm not proud of what I did to come here, so let me tell you about something else. Okay, let's grab those. Then you can go there. I'm not going to use you. Pop you in there and provide funds necessary. Turn things on. Okay, so we need to do something like this as well, because there's going to be two of those. Now I share the right that the Order used to summon a Caligine spirit, in clear defiance of the Lethean tradition that did not offer Knocklore. They did not offer Knocklore with a Winter Initiate, Animalius Imperative, but rather Winterlore with a Knock Initiative, Animalius. It is not to be borne. Okay, so we get the right of the Watchman's Sorrow, which you already have, but it'll just be replaced. And then we also got some Winterlore at that. Okay. So you can go back up to your spot, and you can go over here. Right. Now, study-wise, let's go for the next book. Okay, the Orchid Transfiguration. A long dialogue between the Mountain Mother and the Vigilant Storm describes the way in which both mountains and storms end and the protections they use against those ends. Okay, we've got a new place there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just head on out to the club. So Father Ted, got up out of a sick bed, or actually he's still sick at the moment, right? Yeah. So bit sick, but decides, he needs a night out anyway, and ends up going to the club. In tonight's performance, Amethyst, a net-wielding hunter, pursues a veiled-winged woman through a murmuring maze of leaf-clad dancers. Each movement is underwater slow. The lights go down very gradually as the performance ends. There's no applause. We each drift into the street, alone with our dream. Start a new one of those. But that means now that that's been headed off, and it won't get to 2 because of you. Sick room goes close and stale. Time to get up. Yeah, so we got up a little early that time to go out to the club. Now we can get back to the Mantis again. Got 3 of those so far. Okay, but we must use the knife, said the lion-throned one. The noose, the flame, the waking word, against those who have passed the three-valved door, and so none may pass. This is our law, and the law of the sun. Okay. And then let's start studying from here, I think. The first circle tantra. Herein the great hooded princes are shown beseeching the wood to rise and devour an invading Timurid army. The Dapple King, the Honey Tree, and the Sea Twins all deny their request, until they enlist the help of a burrowing secret keeper. Dwarves to spare, prowls elsewhere. This place merits closer investigation. Grab you and work on a new one. Okay, give ourselves a new one of these. Last night I visited the lodge of the Sage Knight. My hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities. But you come for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Caresome days. You're welcome to it. Only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Okay, and let's go back there. Armed with blackmail material from the burrowing secret keeper, the great hooded princes petition the powers of the wood for a second time and are successful. 1/4 of the Timurid army is devoured by bees, 1/4 drowns themselves, and 1/4 disrobe themselves until nothing remains. Okay, some nice mottle over there. Pop in there. Now, on to the next one. Which is you, so you're going to be some forge lore. Dialogue with the entity called the Crucible Prince. The prince warns about the appetites of his mistress, the Burning Queen, and the peril of the naked desire she shares with the sun, but professes his loyalty nevertheless. Okay. And get some nice contentment out of that. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Okay, you're there. Let's go to the next one. Start that. Okay, got a subtle fracture. Last night in the great pavilion, above the grey sprawl of the bounds, a woman who once called herself Teresa Galmier sat on gilt-fringed cushions and offered me a horn cup of dream wine. The wine is imaginary, she explained. The cup is not. To navigate the mantis, one must understand the distinction. Perhaps one day you'll join me on the pilgrimage, or I'll join you. So here, let us share a secret. And her breath tickled my ear. Okay, and put you there. And we're going to head straight back into the mantis. That's the last one of those that we have. So then, once it's done, we can actually go there and start collecting those, as many books as we can. Oh, and we should get to work as well. A right which changes is necessarily a right which destroys, but a great change requires the destruction of the savage extent. Okay, so we've got some nice forge. Let's study the next one. Oops, sorry. The Leonine Tantra. The Tantra describes elliptically the great hooded princes and the multitudinous ways in which they influence wars against foreign invaders of the land of the great river, although in a sense they were also invaders. Okay. So we got that. Now we're going to send some people along, so let's go with fascination. Last night, the billowing blue of the lodge of the Sage Knight, I sat on velvet cushions and watched two dead contend with shining swords. He came with the place, said the woman who rules her now, the one who once called herself Galmier. I was not the Sage Knight, if that's what you're wondering. He went higher in the mantis long before I came here. My attention has drifted. The swords sparkle like falling water. The dead move like dancers. Okay. Pop you there. And back in again. Okay, good. So we're going to get some vitality out as well. Right. Let's go here. Leave a pause so that we don't get interrupted again. So leader is going to be Neville. And then we're going to send along Victor. Provide some funds. The law does not touch the decaying fringe of the city. The mud here has claimed many lives, and there will no doubt be some wretched criminals or other lurking in their warehouse. Okay, so let's start that. We're on her. Pumps more strongly today. Okay. Some nice vitality. Work going again. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now. Or I can send another follower. Let's see. Forge a lantern. So let's send along Cat with some lantern. He's on the lookout for some notoriety, but he's a bit early. Lions can be created, not as children are created, not as words are created, but as weapons are created. The great hooded princes learned to create lines from their spying on the affairs of the hours. Not all lines have now served the Golden General. Okay. Let's get some nice edgelore as well. Pop you there. And let's go for the next one. Ceaseless Tantra. The Ceaseless Tantra is devoted mostly to warnings about the lively creatures called percussicants, but concludes with a chant which can be used to summon them. It observes that Percuskins can be taught any dance, but they prefer only one. Okay. Right, so we've seen that one already today. Copy there. Yeah, so a tip I would give to anyone playing Priest is that in the early stages, there's something you should do in order to get a temptation. So if you're looking for something where you're going to need your temptation, you should do that in the very early stages of your cult, because basically you've got to change the aspect of your cult to a different one, and then that will prompt you then to get a temptation. I'm not sure of the exact details because I obviously haven't done it myself, but yeah, that would be a tip I would give is make sure that if you're not going for, even if you're going for this one, this ending actually is going to be easier. But if you do want a temptation, then you should do that early on. So it's something to do with, as I said, changing the aspect of your cult, which obviously is better to do that early on rather than later. And you can only do it once as well. So I guess what you should do is start a cult of one type and then change it to the type that you actually want in the end. We're mud spattered and torn scratch, but we made it through. Okay, good. I'm safe for now. My adversary is not enough evidence to make a case against me. They found no new clues. That which does not cease is not ceased. Okay. We want the next one. We're getting through these pretty good pace now. Peel. Oh, the flayed tantra. Peel was numbered among the great hooded princes, but it breaks with its brethren. Followed the thunderskin in the endless dance. Okay. Now, let's see. Getting ready, so let's send Elridge along. You should be ready then for the fight. I think the next one we're going to send Kat as one of the earlier people. Probably have to start grabbing stuff from there as well, because we've seen everything from there today. Oh, he's still a bit early though. You got some fascination, but generally dread will take care of you. Let's send some funds. The Watchers will almost certainly regret standing against us. Once Peel had peeled itself, it had the ink needed to write the Tantra. It had to face the wrath of its fellows. Hence, oh, here is the invocation it used to fend them off. Okay, so some heart lore. Study the next book. This is called The Scar in the Sky. Each page of this book contains one word only, but each page is turned. A knowledge creeps in. Oh, as each page is turned. start on this side. Entering the white door, the invisible arch Christopher Lopley is said to have remarked are as profitable as macram, as ethical as tobacco smuggling, and in general as beneficial as roulette. Still, there is always the Orchard of Lights, and indeed the orchard, with its glowing fruit and its peaceful mists, is a place to be yearned for. Last night I walked there in the peaceful hours of the deep night. Even after waking, I still carried with me a little of the glory of the old sun. Okay. And let's go there with you. And get back in here. Okay. Their blood pumps bright, then dark. They should not have opposed us. We move on. Let's send Porter along. As yet, I have only the needs and desires of any other mortal. But what stirs in me? The final page is crowded. Each reader of the book records the same word. Now it is my turn. Right of intercalate and wolf word. Okay. Nice. That's a right. I don't think I may have seen it before, but I don't remember seeing it before. But there we go. We've got winter lore of a high enough level now, which is great. Yeah, let's have a read of this one. This right recapitulates the sun's abominable fate. It is used in extreme times by foolish adepts. Okay. Doesn't sound like something you want to get too mixed up in. Right, let's yeah, we'll do it in a sec, hang on. Get this going again. Wow, everything's going off now. I can grab that. The hours have been called unmerciful, but they permit sleepers sometimes to walk in the Orchard of Lights, where each fruit glows like a sunset, where the roots of the trees are shaped like peaceful rest, where the mist soothes the heart. I was there last night. The taste of the fruit lingers, sharp and sweet, as the passage of spring to summer. Okay, so you're going to turn into a vitality, so we can pop you there. And we're going to get you started. Birdsong. Inam. Has not the beach crow shared his treasures? Garky. Not the rarest. He takes those things most precious, which he claims found, not stolen. Oh, there we go. We're going to get an affliction there. And we should also talk to Dorothy. Should have talked to her a little bit earlier. Right, what have we got here? The watchers here were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. This is not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. Okay, so we get our notoriety. Yeah, and Ted would have said to Dorothy, listen, Dorothy, I know this is kind of a lower level type of thing for us, but it's what we're going to be doing for the next while. And I just need you almost to set up residence out by that place and just keep an eye on things, for next while, because we're going to be going there a lot. And because of that, there's a very good chance people are going to start remembering the faces of the people we send. I need you to make sure that even if they are remembered, that none of it can really lead back to us. And with that, we'll Ted would congratulate Kat and the others on the job well done. Tell Neville that, you know, we'd rather Neville be around here because he's feeling a little under the weather, and he may have to take to a sickbed soon. So instead, would send Kat to lead the expedition with Elridge. We'll pay that. Start that one. Where's the calm? The sun is steady. The glow recedes. I'm saying if that means anything. So I want to deal with this one before we end the episode. Well, we made decent progress now. We've got all of these ready for us. We've got one done. Actually, what did we get from that one? I think we only got stuff here, right? No books. Possibly. Yeah, if we had to get books, it would have appeared somewhere around here. I think it's probably just doubles of things from here. Okay, so we know to send Pope next because the lantern is the first thing up. Yeah, if it turns out we're not getting books from there, we can just start chewing away through these because there's tons of them there anyway. Okay, we're going to go here. Last night I walked in the Orchard of Lights. I plucked the fruit, which is always ripe, and consumed it in 2 bites. The taste is not to be forgotten. As I licked the glowing juices from my fingers, I saw a message carved in the bark of the tree. When I woke, I recorded that message, all I could remember, in my diary. Okay, I'm going to keep that available because you're about to finish. We're going to read this first. The Beach Crow. Captain Ging Looper suggests is not only a thief, but also a spy and even a voyeur. He has hidden the memory of secret couplings among the hours and their names in the corners of the house as treasures to gloat over. There is particularly fervid speculation on a liaison between the ring-yew, that fervent hour of the wood, and the mare in the tree, who sometimes has been the witch's sister. Okay. So we got, some nice mod level stuff as well. Okay, so you can go to there. Got some more dread to go up here. And under fascination as well. Okay, and then study wise, we're going to study to get some erudition. This illness has damaged my health. I'll need to rest before I'm fully recovered. Okay, let's pause there for a second. Right, so where's our illness? There you are. Okay. Let's grab you, and we don't have that yet, so we'll just pay. In here, the watchman will clear our sight so that we can almost certainly pass without error. Okay, now we're going to send along Victor. Make sure we're ready for the next one as well. We're going to get work started again. And that's where we're going to leave that one. So I hope you have enjoyed. Hope you keep safe out there. And hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right. Or checking out some other videos here on the left. Or perhaps you might even share with some friends.